All right, here we is.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm actually doing better today than I have been.
Good.
It
Take some
seems
happy
like,
pills or something, or
well, it seems like for once, Democrats and Republicans actually came together and did something useful.
oh, you mean by getting rid of Herschel?
Well, yeah, that too. But, but I mean the Marriage Equality Act.
Oh, that thing. Oh,
Now, here's my thing. First of all, I think it's a great thing.
oh, me too. Absolutely.
I don't belong to either of those categories, neither the LGBTQ
Sure about that?
or the interracial marriage thing. But I do have a daughter who does. And my daughter is married to another female. God bless them both. I love them to death. It scared the shit out of me that there was a possibility that that marriage could have been dissolved.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a child that they're raising together. That whole family would have been destroyed had they not been able to do this in Congress. And the Supreme Court did revisit. Was it?
Obergefell.
Yes, that's the word.
Yeah.
I still can't say it. Obergefell.
Obergefell. Yeah.
Well, if they had
I hope I'm not butchering it, but
no, you're doing it right. I just, for some reason today, my mouth doesn't work. So if they had revisited it and decided against it, it could have destroyed thousands upon millions of lives.
Would have.
And here's the thing, though. All right, now that it's going to the president, to Biden, and he's going to sign it into law. Okay, because it's already passed the House and the Senate, which is amazing.
Right.
It just what it means is those who are already married, or those who get married in states that approve those type of marriages, have the equal rights in every state now.
Yes, regardless of that state's position, as long as the marriage was done in a state where it was legal.
Correct.
And you move to, let's say, my state where it's a piece of shit and they would make it illegal, they would honor it. And I believe, like my neighbors, for example, they're a married couple, same sex. But I mean, one, it has no effect on me, so whatever. But two, they're happy, man. They're good dudes.
Right.
I have zero problem with them. You know, I talk to them. I text them once in a while. We say hello. I see them outside, whatever. You know, they're great neighbors, man. You know, they really are. I have nothing to worry about from them. Zero. In fact, I bet you if I was really in some trouble, I could go to them and they'd help me. I would not doubt that at all. You know? So yeah, it pisses me off that my state could jeopardize.
Right. So my daughter and daughter-in-law and my grandson can go to your state and be recognized as a married couple.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
As a family, which is awesome.
Right.
Here's where I have a little bit of confusion. It protects LGBTQ. It protects, interracial, which means that the Supreme Court now can't go, even if they overturn Obergefell, they can't. It's not going to affect anything because there's already a different law on the books now. Correct?
Right. But well, no, Obergefell's an opinion.
Right.
It's not law.
But they can. But the Supreme Court
needs to be codified into law, and that's what they did with the federal thing.
But the Supreme Court still has the right to, or I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe they have the right to entertain whether this new movement that they just did, this new law being signed in, is constitutional or not. Is that? Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I mean, could it still be in jeopardy?
You know, I wonder, because why else would they be saying that they need to hurry up and do this to make it a law? I don't think it's that simple.
Right.
I think in a situation like Roe v. Wade, for example, as a parallel, they were able to make a new opinion on that. So the new opinion takes care of that one, and
Right.
then it's the judges vote on it, or however that works. So they put their opinions in and whatever. But when something is law, I don't think it's as simple as that. I believe the process is more complicated. I feel a little ignorant. I wish I knew that, but I don't. Not not enough to base an opinion on. You know.
I thought that's what the Supreme Court was to test the constitutionality of laws.
No, I believe so, but for these examples, now that Obergefell has in essence been codified, even though it's a weak one, nonetheless, it's still law, where Roe is not.
What
Roe
would
is
you
not
like?
law.
What would you like to see added to the Marriage Equality Act that would make it less weak?
You would ask me that question. I don't know. I think that this is something that is not a state responsibility anymore. It's clear that you know, if you get a large enough group of people that are gathered at a certain place, you can prevent something like that. But I don't. I think that it should be more of a constitutional amendment where we need to maybe redefine the definition constitutionally of what marriage is, and then do that so it
Well,
covers
didn't
everyone.
didn't didn't
Because
this do that?
no, because like I said, I only grazed through that article you sent me. I mean, that's really big. It was deep. So, but it's not. It could be stronger. I mean, yes, I wish I could pinpoint it a little bit better, but
Well, I know that the article
it's
did
good
say
because it allows people that are already married now to not be worried about something happening to their marriage. But I don't know in states. I don't know how that is in a state like mine, for example, where if they had their way, that sure as shit would be illegal
yeah, but
or,
it's
or
not up to
not
the state
recognized.
anymore.
I
It's
don't.
not. It's not up to the state anymore. This law makes it so that the states have to recognize them, regardless
No,
of
they
what they
have to
believe.
recognize it, but that's
They
from
don't have to perform the ceremony, but they do have to
exactly,
recognize them.
exactly. But it's more of a grandfather situation
Well, no,
where
it's not. No, 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 no.
it's
If I
where
go
if
get
where
married tomorrow,
in Arkansas.
if I go get married tomorrow in New York to another dude and go to Arkansas for my honeymoon, they have to acknowledge it, whether I do it tomorrow or 2 years from now,
Right, but all I'm saying is that if you live in this state
right?
and they now change, let's say tomorrow they change their law to say, well, fuck you, it's illegal now.
Right.
All right. Anyone before that law would be protected. Anyone after that law, well, clearly you can't do it. You would have to leave the state. But maybe in some of these situations, do you need to be a resident of the state? Well, I guess like Vegas and shit like that. Yeah, I guess if you could fly to Vegas, get married, and fly back, then yeah, I guess you don't need to be a resident of the state. But it
Correct.
just means that an out of state marriage will have to be recognized
Yes.
within this state. So it's just like a gun show loophole for weapons. It's a way to get around. It's just a loophole, whatever, like a tax loophole, same thing. You can say fuck you to Arkansas by just crossing a border or whatever, getting married, coming back in. Here's my marriage certificate, not giving me my benefits. Fuck you.
Correct.
There. That's all it does. So now there's lost, although it's not that much, but there is lost revenue for the state of Arkansas for that. Marriage licenses cost money.
You're correct.
And there's other strings attached to that the local people don't get money for. Like, what happens when people get married? They buy gifts, they have friends, they have parties, they go places, they do things, and this is taken away from that as from an economic standpoint. It doesn't help anyone. And today it's like it's
Right,
so commonplace. But what the fuck does it matter? We got interracial relationships everywhere. It's all bad.
Right. But does that mean that the law is weak, or does that mean that the state is weak? Because if the
Yes.
state was worried about the income, the revenue, then they would change their state law. All right, it's not the
Oh,
law that just passed about marriage equality that's the issue.
right. But you got to
It's
remember, they don't think first.
well,
They do.
but I don't think that this law is weak in that respect. I think it's the state's response to
It's
the law that's
narrow
weak.
in focus.
Well,
It's
it
a little
should
narrow
be.
in focus, and
It
that's the
should,
comments I was getting out of there. Well, yeah, I
But-
guess it is.
but it should be, because if you make it broad, then it leaves too much for interpretation where it can be screwed over.
Well, I only say that because, kind of like the article you sent me, that was the consensus they were giving, is that this is good, but it doesn't cover enough. It needs to cover more things. I didn't read beyond that because we were doing this, so I don't know than what they were really pointing out, but I could begin to understand why they were saying that. I just need to finish the article. I'll know the rest. but I mean,
Which is why
so
I said
but I could
read
still
it
see the
thoroughly
point.
before the show.
Yeah, I didn't have the time. I got stuff to do today. Things happened. I ran out of time.
But this whole idea of the Supreme Court striking down Obergefell would, I just don't. Even now, I can't see it happening. Even then, I couldn't see it happening because of Clarence Thomas is the only one that I know of that's on the Supreme Court that's in an interracial marriage.
Oh, yes.
And if they strike down Obergefell, then his marriage is no longer valid.
I would think so. Same
And
with
I don't
Mitch
think
McConnell.
I don't think he wants to take that step.
Right. I don't know. He's already said words to that effect.
Yeah, but he said he wanted to revisit it, but I don't think he actually thought through what he said.
How he wanted to revisit it and when he said it too.
Well, like I said,
he
I don't.
said it.
Right, as they overturned Roe versus Wade, but I don't think that he thought it through before he said it. Is what I'm saying. I think he said it as a spur of the moment high on what they just did.
I don't think they've thought these things through, because it's pretty clear that what they just did is going to blow up in their face. Because I heard Leto's what Leto said. He wasn't this something too about they made the example of a black child in KKK garb or something like that going to see Santa Claus? Are you fucking kidding me? Really?
That was about,
and then laughing about it.
That was about that. That was actually about that woman who went to the Supreme Court because she didn't want to serve same-sex marriages because she started a wedding website making business.
Cake thing or whatever. Yeah,
where she makes websites for people who are having weddings.
Right.
And she didn't want to have to cater to same-sex marriages.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole thing about, if you saw a black kid in a KKK hood,
that was from Alito. What the fuck?
I know.
Where is that even appropriate to even?
But Judge Sotomayor kind of set him straight too.
Yeah, that's true too.
But I don't see how. Even if they overturn Obergefell right now, it wouldn't affect the law that they're passing now. So it would just be a ceremonial thing at this point.
I don't know, but I do know that one thing that's probably stopping them is the overwhelming percentage of the country that is in that situation, whether interracial, same sex, whatever. I cannot imagine the anger at minimum that would come from yet one more thing, that's being stripped away from the population. It's bad enough they're attacking women's rights.
I know. I was going to say 43% of the population. 43% of the population was affected when they overturned Roe v. Wade.
Yeah. And all right, so that's, and then add this group on. they're not going to stop there. That's what people need to realize. Roe v. Wade, that was a a flare. Here's what's coming. They're not going to stop there. They're going to try. The thing with Obergefell, though, they're not there yet because they would have done it. They're waiting for one opportunity. They're waiting for a sign from God. Whatever.
Well, they can't do anything until somebody brings it to them. Somebody actually challenges it.
That is true. So maybe they're waiting for that perfect case, but it's someone's out there right now pushing the buttons to make that case happen. They're doing it.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that whoever's pushing the buttons realizes now that it's just a ceremonial thing because they just passed the Marriage Equality Act.
Yeah. Until there's enough power to take it away.
I don't think there ever will be. Too many Republicans joined the bandwagon to push this through.
12 did in the House. I think it was the House. Yeah. So that was good.
Yeah. So that I don't see them going. Even if let's say worst case scenario, Trump gets reelected, there's nothing he can do about it. He can't write an executive order to overturn a law. Can't.
What do our people think? That's what I want to know.
Well, I know what I think. I think that this may be the single most important thing that Biden has done in his 4 years in office so far.
Pretty close.
This may be what sways Democrats to stay in the office in 2024. Not necessarily him, but Democrats themselves.
No, I'll stand by whoever's in the blue, but I hope I do hope there is a primary. I hope he at least.
Oh, I do too. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that there's not. I'm saying that.
Well, a lot of times with an incumbent president, you usually don't have anyone running against him. That's a lot of times that happens. His popularity is. Some things are helping him, but he did what he needed to do.
Right.
He's got a good legacy for himself. He can leave on a really, really high note. He did so much better than that.
Previous president.
Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, that one. And go out on a good note. I don't think Kamo should run either. I don't dislike her or anything, but it's not her time. She's not the strong enough candidate for that. We need something that we maybe haven't even seen yet. We need something new, but we need something strong.
Something new, something strong.
Yeah.
Colombian
like a Buttigieg
coffee?
type. Nope, like a Buttigieg type. I'm not saying him himself, but someone like Bernie. I want to see a progressive. Someone like candidate.
Bernie.
Yeah. I like Bernie. I want him in there bad.
Isn't he older than Biden?
I don't care. If he is willing to do it, I'd vote for him in a heartbeat.
See,
I want someone like him. I want someone that's worked close to him, or something, or a Jamie Raskin type. I like him.
See, now I would love to see Elizabeth. Oh my God, my brain. Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, I voted for her when the time came.
I actually contributed to her campaign the last time.
No, I contributed to Bernie. He's the first campaign I ever contributed to.
Yeah, she was the first one I contributed to. That's amazing.
Yep, I liked her. I don't know if she has it, but I like a lot of the things she stands for. I really do, especially with the corporate world, that corporate fucking greed bullshit.
Now, just to let everybody know that we're coming out with another video very soon about what's happening now with AOC. So
yeah, I caught a glimpse of that and I haven't heard any more.
It's basically she's being brought up under investigation for ethics violations.
Yeah, that's a fishing expedition. I just hope there's nothing there to stick.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything there. There's a there. I think that it's just somebody complained because they want her out.
They want her gone. She's public enemy number one to them. Yep.
And I think that this is their first way for them to try and do that.
I hope
because
that's
they
in
have
her
nothing
future
else.
is running for presidency. I'd vote for her.
Really?
Hmm. Not now. She's got a lot to learn yet. But in her future, she's material for president. You know,
I don't know.
I like how she speaks. I like how she's, fuck you. She's not
Right.
afraid of getting in someone's face
But
and
don't forget
saying
that.
what's up. She's very
But don't
articulate.
forget that's how the former president was as well.
Yeah, but at least she has shit to back it up.
Right.
She's backing up with facts, reality, not bullshit, not lies.
Right.
So yeah, I want to see that zeal. I want that energy. Someone
Well,
that really has a passion for what they're doing and is into helping people.
hopefully at that time she's still around and still in the limelight so that we don't forget about her and
I
she
hope she's
doesn't
not
come,
alone. I want to see more rising stars too.
Well, I haven't seen that much from anybody that has really turned my head yet.
Not like that. I've seen some really good people I like in Congress, but I don't know if the presidential material.
I agree with you. Like and I'm really bad with names because I had
Like Adam Schiff for one. I love him in the Judiciary Committee, but I'm not sure if I'd
head
want him as
injuries.
president.
You know who I really like as in the role that she's in is remember I told you I'm not good at names, so I'll just describe it. The whiteboard lady.
Yeah.
You're stuck too?
Yeah, you blocked me. I watch her all the time too. Yes, I absolutely. I actually, she's one of the few new ones that I would vote for president. Absolutely.
Oh, I wouldn't, but I would want to keep her where she is because she's keeping
Katie Porter.
You're right, because she's keeping a good handle on keeping these these
Right, but
companies
she didn't forget
under
where she
control.
came from. She still has her roots. She's
Right.
still. I mean, she doesn't make a whole lot of money. She's not taking in a whole lot of shitty money from somewhere else.
Right.
And she still has to live on a budget. She still has kids and family and all that to deal with. No, she's still one of us, and that's what I'd like to see in the White House, is someone that remembers where they fucking came from, to know how we down here feel. She's breathed our air and took it with her. Yeah, I like that in a candidate.
Well, then one question for you.
Well, okay. Yes, Katie Porter for president. If you can hear me, Katie. Yeah, or recommend somebody. I would definitely like to see that for sure. Yep. Yeah, bring your whiteboard with you. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Welcome back, sir.
That was interesting.
Good. I did my own plug.
Just kicked me right out.
Yeah, you know me.
My question is, since you're looking at rising stars, what is your take on Fetterman at some point trying to take that extra step?
I'm not sure he'll survive the trip. But him as a person, yeah, he's fine. I wasn't sure about him at first. There's something about him that I wasn't quite sure about, but so I studied him a little bit more. And the more I got to see him, the more I liked him.
I'm going to assume that part of what
Al Franken
concerned
is someone else I like too.
Oh my God, I love Al Franken. But
Yeah.
part of what concerned you, I'm guessing, is that you weren't sure if this man of the people persona that he has was actually an act.
Right. And no, I think it's legitimate. He's a person.
I agree.
Yep.
I had the same concern at first. I was like, this clown's wearing jorts and
I don't give a fuck what he's wearing.
sweatshirts, and he's running around with the people. It's just got to be some sort of political stunt. But then the more I watched him and the more I listened to him, I was like, oh, this guy's smart. This guy's good.
Yes, I did get that. He's extremely intelligent, and he's got good, sensible ideas. Things that make sense,
and things that affect the people in a good way, and not just himself.
Right. Well, I don't know if his stuff really does affect him in either way.
Well, I mean, not just him. He
know
does
I
what
mean.
he does for the people.
Yes, that's the point I was trying to make. Yes, exactly.
You know, he doesn't. He's not in it for himself. He's in it for them.
And that's what we need. We need
Right.
more of that. You know, they're already doing well. You know, I mean, candidates nowadays, like I can't afford to run. No
Right.
one, I would never get enough exposure. You know, no one would probably ever take me seriously. You know, so the fact that anybody can run, well, as true as that may be, that's not reality. So I want someone who made it, who doesn't really need the money. You know,
Right.
so they don't take donations. They don't, you know, they tell lobbyists to get the fuck out if they offer them, you know, hey, I can grease your wheels if you can grease mine. You know, we got to stop that.
So in ending, all I want to say is Elizabeth Warren and Fetterman. Oh, Elizabeth Warren and Al Franken for president and vice president.
I wouldn't be opposed to that ticket. I wouldn't mind something with Katie Porter in there either, actually.
I think
as a VP or even eventually a president.
I seriously think she needs to stay where she is. Not because she can't handle the presidency, but because no one can handle the job that she's doing the way she does it.
Sure. And that's kind of how I feel about Elizabeth Warren, too. And Bernie Sanders, for that matter, and a few of the others. They're really good in the positions that they're in. I don't know what would happen if we'd lose them, you know, in those spots. So, yeah.
All right. Well, Matt, I'll see you another time. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
And like the man said, let us know what you think about potential candidates, about the Marriage Equality Act, whatever it is that tickles your fancy at that time. All right, and we will see you in the funny papers.
Peace.